Greetings and welcome to Jefficho Films. This 1984 action-adventure comedy is directed by Stewart Raffill, who did the Philadelphia Experiment, and co-written by the Krull writer Stanford Sherman. So it can't be that bad, can it? Well, let's review Ice Pirates.
God damn it.
What was that?
Space herpy.
That's disgusting!
It's really not that dangerous.
That's not what I've been told.
Much like Star Wars, this movie starts out with some exposition, and it's a lot. Long after the great interplanetary wars, the galaxy's gone dry. Water has become the only thing left of value. Evil Templars from the planet Mithra have gained control of this life-giving resource. Their power is now absolute, except for a few rebel pirates who survive by stealing ice from the greater Templar fleets. The pirates are checking out some space freighters and board one, and I already hate the robots. Jason stumbles upon a cryo-sleeping Princess Karina, but there's no time for that. They manage to make it to the warehouse portion of the ship, and sword fights begin.
Aha! Pirates, sound the alarm! Sorry to interrupt. Thanks very much.
And then we see some robots fight a robot, and I feel like this film has enough comedy relief going that they don't need these robots. Jason manages to go back and actually grab the princess and some ice before making it off, and Ron Perlman loses his hand.
Jason, it's in here. Oh!
A space battle happens and they're being shot at, and then suddenly boarded and captured, but at least some of his men got away. Jason and Roscoe chill in the ship's prison with a lot of other cellmates, and they're being taken to Mithra, the water planet. It's the only source of water in the galaxy, and the rumor is that the Princess Karina's father was killed by the Knights Templar. Prisoners are put on a strange conveyor belt, and I think they were about to have their junks removed before Karina ends up saving them.
Just pretend that it happened.
And they're turned into these units, as they're like, junkless people that will follow your instructions and do your bidding. Karina decides to pick up Jason and Roscoe. I think somebody might be reusing some of Logan's Run's miniatures, and we get to this strange dance club, and Killjoy is pretending to be a robot, but before he was pretending to be a priest. I think I'm gonna like him.
What are you doing here? Just spreading a good word and trying to save my ass.
Hey! What's going on? Don't do that!
The Templars seem to want to capture the princess, so her new slaves escape, and Roscoe and Killjoy find their own transportation. Then all of a sudden they're on the princess' spaceship and fly off. Jason tries to bully her and take the ship, but she's not a pushover. Also, this is a really cute garbage droid.
This little fella? He's just the ship's garbage robot. Look.
The diabolical Zorn visits the Supreme Commander, who's played by John Carradine from Evils of the Night, to discuss his evil plans, which was apparently to let the princess escape, just like her father.
Escaped in the warship, as planned.
Like father, like daughter. You must be forever vigilant, son.
And then this egg hatches on the ship, and this fucked up thing comes out, and they have to deal with it as it attacks one of them, and then they look up the manifest. They arrive on the pirate moon and head into the pirate den, where he sees some of his crew survived. They need a land craft to find the pirate that Karina's looking for. They get to Sweetwater, and then some pirates try to mess with Karina, and Media deals with it. The Frog Lady drives Jason and Karina to Sweetwater, and there's a serious gopher infestation. And they find Lanky, and he tells them that he aged 20 years in 20 seconds through the time warp. He got old. Lanky tells them that they were probably followed, but that at the end of the war her father found the 7th planet before the Templars massacred the crew. And then some bounty hunters show up and attack, and there's a big chase scene. Somehow Jason manages to take on most of them. And then their ship crashes for some reason, and Lanky's back is broken just before he tells him.
It's there, Jason. A father knows. Go to the tri-system.
They get back, and there's too many robots, and they also brought some piggies and the donkey with them. The crew's all sitting around the dinner table having a good time before they reach the planet, and they go down, and it's a foggy planet where they see a punk girl and a unicorn. I think it's a group of Amazons who all ride unicorns. The Amazons appear to work for Wendon, and then Roscoe shows up just in time, and we find out that Wendon's living as a detached head, and he tells Karina where her father is, but it's not him. They get back to the ship and take a ring from Wendon, who has a message from her father with the coordinates for the 7th planet. Also, Roscoe rebuilt one of the robots. Jason and Karina share a moment and listen to some music in an environmental simulator called Passion Storm. That's hot. It even rains in there.
Shouldn't you be at the controls?
If you insist.
They find out they're being tailed by a Templar ship, and they're prepared for an onboard attack with time distortions. Jason's beard suddenly grows really long, so does Perlman's, and the princess is suddenly pregnant, and the donkey and pig are much bigger. Then suddenly his baby is born, and the nanny aged really fast, and Karina's hair is super long, and the battle continues, and everyone has long hair and beards and white hair. And then Killjoy is killed, which is ironic because his name is Kill, and they get so old that their son saves them. And then some flashes happen, and then this.
We came through it. We're back to the exact moment we were at when we entered the time warp.
Velocity's back to normal.
They reach the 7th planet, which kind of looks like Earth. The end. Originally called Water Planet, this had a $20 million budget before it got cut into a $9 million budget, but it still made $14.5 million, which is surprising to me. The studio MGM was falling apart at the time, and it really affected the film, but they still managed to finish it. Some studio head cut out the ending where they were all swimming on Earth. As much as I might have found the robots annoying, I came away liking this because of that time warp battle. It was a pretty unique idea and rather funny.
Big surprise, Daddy.
Congratulations!
Robert Urich acted from 1972 to 2002 before passing away at the young age of 55. He had good chemistry with everybody. Once we got past those clunky robots, he really started to shine.
Jason, don't be disturbing Nanny. She's getting very old.
Nanny?
Mary Crosby played a decent princess in this. I mean, there's a requirement when you're playing a princess in sci-fis. You have to be lovable. And she was. I could see myself falling in love with her. She's pretty charming. She's also the aunt to Denise Crosby from TNG, who played Tasha Yar. And she was in DS9 for an episode or two. So, thumbs up in my book for that. Her biggest roles were in the TV series Dallas, which I never watched, but I think we've all heard about it. And she was in The Legend of Zorro.
Robots, attack! You all right? I think. Good. I'm getting too old for this.
Look, it's bad. There are some painful parts. The comical robots are probably my least favorite. It's a little cheesy, but once you get into it, it's actually kind of a lot of fun to watch. So I totally recommend that you check this out if you like these bad sci-fis, because this should be on your list. Well, as always, thanks for watching.